Hey, everybody. Today, I'm asking if you like this show, would you head over to iTunes and leave a review? Just go to coolcatteacher.com/iTunes, and it will take you to the show on iTunes. And you can give it stars, or even better, if you leave a rating. It really does make a difference, and it helps other teachers find the show. Thanks. Today, we are math-evating kids to get excited about math, episode 286.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Today, we're talking with Kim Thomas, 2016 Illinois Teacher of the Year. She's been teaching for 25 years, and currently she's in Peoria County Alternative School for kids who have been expelled, teaching at the middle school level. Kim, you love math. What's your philosophy behind helping kids get excited about math?
Well, I math-evate them, and I try to be the best fraction of their day. You know, math class, a lot of kids walk in my room with negative parabolas on their face. And I'm like, no, give me a 60th of a minute, and I will rotate that into a positive parabola by math-evating them and making the class fun times fun plus fun. I just feel like you bring that fun and passion into the classroom, and kids are going to be just like, what'd she say? So when I say, hey, it's time to get mathlicious, they're like, what is that? If I would say math, most of them want to rotate 180 degrees and run. So I came up with this mathlicious way to math-evate them that hopefully puts a positive parabola on everyone's face. I do live plus laugh plus love equals learn in my classroom. So we live it up every day. And they know they're going to do something fun every day when they come in the room. So I name the days of the week. Now, I change these names according to, my kids and their interests. So Monday is Mathago Monday and You Matter Monday. So we talk about things over the weekend and how much I miss them. And then we do a Mathago game I created that it's like Boggle, but it's numbers. And so you have to pick adjacent numbers or diagonal ones that and equal a certain number. And I let the kids pick the target number. So they have a lot of fun doing that. And it always works. It's so amazing. No matter what number they pick and no matter what is in that Mathago board, it works. Then we do Tangio Tuesday, which I changed it this year to Tweakin' Tangio Tuesday because the kids have a word called tweaking, not twerking. I don't twerk on a Tuesday. So they, like if you think today is Wednesday, Mrs. Thomas, you're tweaking, it's Monday. So I call it Tweaking Tuesday, and they just love it because throughout the week they'll be like, Mrs. Thomas, it's not Tuesday and you're tweaking. So we all make mistakes as teachers, and I love it when the kids figure the mistake out and they'll be like, Mrs. Thomas, you were tweaking. So we call it Tweaking Tangio Tuesday, and I use tangrams for the kids to create a picture, and they love it, and to just observe them problem solving and listening to their mathlicious dialogue. It just gives me math bumps to watch them go, hey, I think if we put this piece here, and just all the problem solving they're doing, but they love trying to figure out this puzzle and how excited they get when they figure it out. And then you can have kids create their own, just putting the pieces together and then, taking a picture of it and then having the kids draw the outline, but then have them draw the solution. They love to pass out their own Tweakin' Tangio puzzle on Tuesday. And then Wednesday is Wuzzle Wednesday. So we do math puzzles, and kids are getting so good at these that they like to create their own. So we keep continually looking up fun puzzles to do that really help us with our thinking skills, and also can be like a riddle or a joke. They love stuff like that as well. So that's Wuzzle Wednesday. And then Thirsty Thursday. And what are we thirsty for? Math. Best subject ever. So I love Thursday. Well, they're all my favorite days. But Thirsty Thursday, I create an activity called Equationanza. So they come up to the board and roll a dice. Now, usually it's a 10-sided dice, and they love it. And they have to guess, like, okay, if they're in groups, like, they get to guess what number they think their group is going to roll. And it really helps with kids getting along. I teach an alternative school where kids have been expelled. So we're really working on not only, mathlicious and math, but also skills on getting along. And what you're going to need in the real world is getting along with each other and deciding who gets to pick which number what day. So they pick a number, and if they get it right, we have these like gotcha bucks or a treat. And then we use, I just love this, we use the date as the target number every Thursday. And then my kids, after we get the square root of 25 numbers, so 5 numbers from the dice, they have to use those. On the first line, they have to use 2 of them if they can to get the date, if it's possible. Then the next line, 3, then 4, and then all 5. They can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And what is so fabulous, it works for every date. My kids have not come up with a day that has never worked. So wow. I just love telling them. I just get all these math bumps, and I tell them, I didn't know what you were going to roll. We didn't know what the date was going to be, and it works every single day. So that's Thirsty Thursday. Now, Friday, we have 2 things we do. For Math Head Friday, where we have numbers like the headbands game, and they have to ask each other questions to see who gets it right first. And then we came up with Fry Dab Friday. Because, like when you dab after something good. Yeah. There's a lot of dabbing in my classroom, and I love to dab, and then I drop the smartboard marker like it's the microphone. Yeah. So they have to create 2 times 2 line poem we started with on a math concept. And then we wrap it out. Like I have kids that just like love to beat on the desk. And so instead of telling them, no, stop that. No, I go ahead and let them beat on that desk. And then I just teach to the rhythm. And most of them get sick of listening to me trying to rap. So they stop. How funny. I just love it. So I call it even wrap it up at the end of the class. And we try to freestyle what we learned, and then somebody does the beat on the desk. So every day coming up, like I figured out naming my days has really helped my kids be excited. Now, there's so many other things we do with the Mathlicious projects that I have that I'm just so excited about. I finally got a book done of everything I've been doing for the past 10 times 2 plus 5 years. Wow. To share with others, was a dream come true for me. But just taking, interest of kids. And so my days do change. Like dabbing wasn't around how many years ago? So now it is. And so I try to take their interest and turn it into my math class, taking, so they will be interested in what we're doing.
Now, we will put a link to the Math of 8 book and all that you're doing because there's a lot to dig in here. And we're almost finished with the show. But Kim, tell us a story about a kid. You work with kids who struggle. And a lot of times teachers, when they're in schools like yours, where the kids struggle, the teachers struggle. But it looks like you're thriving and surviving and so excited. Tell us a story about what this excited approach to math can do with kids.
Okay, so it is, and it's just like every day they know. In fact, every hour, the kids have to start fresh. You have to give them that fresh start. I believe in, these square root of 4 chances, and to me, it's 70 times 7. And once I got my Teacher of the Year title, I knew it was like God saying, get that book done. So as a story, I had a girl come in and she sat in the back of the room and she put her head down. I was like, oh no, we don't put heads down in our room. So I never tell kids what not to do. I just go talk to them about why we shouldn't. So I went back and said, hey, let's talk about why shouldn't we put our heads down during class? And so we kind of talked about it, and she put her head up, but then she yelled, I hate math class. And, I put my hands over my ears. So I had her come up, off to the side, and I put my hands on her shoulders. I said, how your mom loves you, but they have to correct you, right? Well, I'm your math mom, and I'm going to have to correct you, but I love you, even though I have to correct you. And I would never put you down for anything ever, not your past test scores or grades, nothing. I'm here to build you up. So please don't hate on my math class. Give me that 1/60th of a minute to show you that how mathlicious math is. And she goes, well, I can't even do my times tables. And I said, so what? I will help you. She goes, you mean you don't care about? I go, no, I care about what I can help you with. Well, I need to count on my fingers. That's okay. So do I. What? I go, well, I'd rather count on them and get it right than try to think about it and get it wrong. She's just looking at me and I go, honey, you don't know what you can do until you really give me that chance to help you, because I'm here to help you. And she just looked at me like, okay. And she sat down and she started working on her math muscles, which that's another thing we do in the beginning of the room, math muscles. And all of a sudden, as the weeks went by, she would be the one going, nobody blurt it out. Let me see if I can figure it out. So came our next testing and to test for growth. And she gained 11 times 2 points. And I mean, she was elated.
Oh,
and
my
was she at grade
goodness.
level yet? No, she wasn't at grade level yet, but that's okay. She grew. And she goes, I mean, I know, but to me, the mathlicious thing and the mathazing thing is she's not afraid of math class anymore. And she came up to me and she goes, Mrs. Thomas, on my cab ride home the other day, the cab driver said, what's your favorite class? I said, math. Can you believe it? I never thought I'd say that. I've always hated math class. And she goes, well, I just want to thank you for not giving up on me. And I said, well, how can you thank me? And she goes, stay in school and stay parallel to boys. Thank you, because particularness can get you into trouble. I keep it 10 squared, keep it 100 with my middle school kids. But it was so cute. I was like, and now, she wasn't afraid. And that's that, I could have taken her as being, it's just, I always try to take their habits, which even like some of them come in my room and say curse words. So we turn it into math cursing, and we turn it into, instead of telling kids to stop, I try to rotate it into something good.
How would you help them with cursing?
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. So I did an article on, I call it math cursing. It was from Curio Learning, Teach Like a Rebel. And so my kids, when they come in and I hear a curse word, I'm like, okay, let's talk about why we don't cuss. And so then I tell them how, well, I don't use those words because the Bible says no filthy things should come from your mouth. So you guys, I know there's somebody in your family that you cannot cuss in front of. So give me their name. So they all go around and they give me the name. And I said, put me on the list. I go, we can math curse in here because most people want to curse when they walk into a math class anyway. So whatever word they want to say, they have to replace it with a math word that starts with that letter. So like, sit your fraction axis in the seat, or this shape is driving me nuts. Or one kid said, Mrs. Thomas, what's the H word? And I'm like, height. And he's like, what the height are we going to do today?
Oh, goodness.
Really, it's seriously, when they start talking to each other, I just love it. They're looking on the wall. They're trying to think of other words. And eventually the cursing just really dies down. But every once in a while, my kids just have to let it out and they choose a math word instead. So I take that habit instead of saying, don't, because let's face it, my kids have been told that so many times before they come to me. So a true blessing in my life is to be able to say yes. So these students can feel that, what it feels like to be told yes, and, to be included in things instead of excluded. And I tell them, this being expelled is not an ending. It is a new beginning in your life. And what are you going to do with it?
Oh, I love that. Well, Kim, you're somebody that I know that all of our remarkable teachers are going to want to learn more about. So this is one of those you definitely want to check the show notes, see what all Kim is doing. And Kim, I'm just proud of you and your attitude, and what a remarkable job you're doing with these kids, because, here's the thing. When you love children, they will just, they'll more than go the extra mile. They'll actually learn, which is what we want. So thank you, Kim. And I'm mathavated.
Yay!
As I said before the show started, it really does help if you leave a review. So if you go to coolcatteacher.com/iTunes and leave a review, I really do appreciate it. And I also appreciate it when you tell your friends. One tip, a lot of people don't know that if you go to the show notes for any of these episodes, so today is episode 254, so you would go to coolcatteacher.com/E254. And you can go to the show notes. But if you look at the little player that I've embedded, there are two little brackets. And if you click that, you can actually embed any show you want on your own blog, your own website. You can share the links to those and just share it far and wide. You can even download a copy of the show if you want to send it to others. So I've put it out there for you, and I hope it's useful.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.